Hello, everybody. Phil Forge here. Today, I am going to be talking about how to gain a resilient mindset. A mindset that will basically allow you to get up no matter how many times you fall, which you're going to fall a lot in this life. It's guaranteed. You got to fall down a few times before you learn how to walk. So, in fact, that's where I'm going to start is all of the value in life. Most of the growth in life happens from mistakes. It happens from learning a hard lesson. You really messed up, and now you know to not do that again. And then there are some things where, it takes a long time to learn the lesson. And my advice to you is that if you know you have one of these, where it's like there's something you should be doing, but you just haven't done it yet, audit that. And this is what I want to get into is make sure that you're using your head. Like use your noggin. IQ 5000, just actually use your head. Like if you just used your head, your life would be so much better. If you just thought more about your situations and actually thought about how to get out of your situations, and then thought of, after you figured that out, thought of a more efficient way to do it, and then thought about how you could shorten that timeline, and then just tried. And even if it doesn't go how it's not going to go how you expect it to, but then just made the commitment where, okay, I've come up with a solution and I'm going to try this solution and I'm not going off this solution. I'm not trying any other solution. This is what I'm doing until it works. And, or you hit sunk cost fallacy, which is typically not when it doesn't feel like it's working, by the way. Like sunk cost fallacy is it's not working and it hasn't been working, and it depends on the time frame of what you're looking at, but realistically most things that you need to try for a very long time on, like projects or a business or something, it's just going to take years, man. It's going to take years. And if you think you can do it faster than that, you're delusional. Like straight up, you're delusional. There's just so much that goes into certain things that you don't see. And I know I'm the person who said like cut your expectation in half if you're thinking about how long a project is going to take long term, but that only applies if you're using your head. So sure, maybe you can make $1 million really quickly, but the only way you're going to be able to do it is if you are thinking a lot harder and doing much more strategy than all the other millionaires out there. And I think that's really unlikely because the other millionaires out there typically have, like, they read books, they take time to think, they take time to talk to their friends and family, which gives them ideas and insights. Like they're doing everything that they can. Like they've already been doing this stuff way longer than you, and like they've learned these lessons, and this is how long it took them. So I think it's highly unlikely that you are going to do it faster than them, if that's even your goal. But whatever your goal is, the point is it's going to take longer than you expect, and there's going to be roadblocks in the way. But also just understand that sometimes we make goals where it's like we think it's going to take 12 years and it's only going to take like 6 if you use your head. Because if you're just brute forcing the thing, of course it's going to take forever. Learn to master patience. Now, some of you actually are too patient. Some of you are too willing to let things sit on the back burner. Some of you are too willing to not do something that you could be doing right now, and you're not impatient enough. Like, understand it's a balance. You need to be impatient for some things and very patient for other things. And you just have to figure out which is which. This is such an undervalued skill, is just mental athleticism. I've already talked about a few things that are contradictory in this video. And it's not that I'm contradicting myself, it's that they're both true, and you need both, and you need to use both at a different time. Like there's a time and a place for everything. Everything under the sun. Well, how do I know what time it is? Well, just take stock. Like, you need to build the skill of doing audits regularly, where you need to take stock of your situation. You need to identify the variables, identify what you can do, identify what you can't do. What can I just deal with? What can I just like embrace the suck through? What can I choose to not tolerate anymore? What is a problem that I can create a solution for? And then sometimes you have to iterate the solution, whereas you have to make the solution like 5-10 times before you finally get it. Or before you find something that even just kind of works. But this is the entire skill of life, is taking stock of your situation, looking at all the variables, and then figuring out how you can put them together. And it's like a puzzle. That's all you can do. That's the skill of life right there, is like, where am I? What am I doing? How fast do I need to be going? What are all the potential things I could be doing? What do I have at my disposal? That's it. It's auditing and then execution on the audit. And I'm going to tell you, one of the problems that you probably have is there's a good chance that you're riddled with false beliefs, because everybody has false beliefs. There are things that you believe that flat out aren't true. There are things that you believe that are holding you back. There are things that you believe that are making it so that you basically don't believe in your ability to get whatever you want. And I'm telling you right now, like, you have the ability to get whatever you want. If you leave this life and you didn't get something, it's because you didn't want it badly enough. That's the truth. That is the truth. There's always a way to get what you want. I don't care how crazy it is. Typically, it's going to require patience and it's going to require sacrifice. Those are the things that people cannot stand. And that is why, if you're just able to withstand these, if you just develop the skill, and it gets easier over time, like as soon as you get into it, it sucks, and then it's not that bad. And then it just becomes your life, and it's like, okay, I'm sacrificing and I'm patient, I'm sacrificing and I'm patient, I'm sacrificing and I'm patient. And eventually it's like, oh, it's over. That's it. That's how you do it. Your corporate overlords hate this one trick. But seriously, guys, you can do anything you want. You can work on any project you want. You can even, through technology, we basically have the ability to like distort reality. Like, we can work, because of technology, we can literally work with the fundamental principles of reality. This is science. And then literally just like bend reality to our will. Like, how crazy is that? Your mind is a tool. You can bend your mind to your will. Like, you can create systems that influence your mind from beyond the point that you exist right now. That's power. Like, you can create and I recommend that everybody has one of these. You can create a system for studying. Yeah, Zen's an alien now. Neepy Zorp, and Glip Glop. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. It's just a matter of like, do you want it badly enough? That's it. And let's say, and I'm going to tell you something, like, sometimes when you have ADHD, you start something and you really care about it, and then you just fall off the horse and you're just like, forget about it for like a month. And then you remember it again. And then you fall off. And then you remember it again. You fall off. You fall off. And this goes on. But if there's this idea that keeps coming back to you and it won't stop, and it's like a ghost and it's like haunting you, do it. Just do it. Like, start today. And, sometimes we do this thing where we're like, yes, it's time to start the idea now. And then you like get out a notebook and you get hyped and you write it down. And it's really cool, but it's not enough. And the reason that it's not enough is because you haven't forged a workflow. You haven't gotten into a rhythm of this thing is actually being worked on every day. And once you have a workflow, all the resistance goes away. Like, everything that's internally trying to resist this from happening leaves, because workflows are easy. All they are is, you have to think about it this way. It's like the neural path in your head, once it's grown, like once you actually know what you have to do and your brain is like, okay, so this is the thing I have to do. It's like breathing. You just do it again and again and again and again, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt. This is why sometimes you'll buy a video game and then not really play it. I'd start games and I'd be like, well, this isn't easy enough to get into. Like, this is a really high learning curve, so I'm not going to play it. And then, you see other people having a ton of fun, but it's like, well, I'm not going to do the learning curve because I just don't care enough. But the reason that it works for them is they had the exact same experience as you. It's just they actually sat down and took the time to learn, and then after they learned the skill, it was easy. That's how it works. Your life is all about automating things. And you automate things, you can automate things with your brain. You can also automate them with systems. You can also automate them with certain mindsets. Mindsets are mental automation. That's it. Like, you just automate more things. You just systematize more things. You just create the workflow and then figure out how to optimize the workflow to the point where you can basically delegate it or hand it off to somebody else or make it automatic through the use of a computer. My recommendation is that you get very good at picking a priority. And when you have ADHD, it's especially important that you learn how to prioritize, because your brain is going to be full of all these different things, like, all the time. You're going to be like, woo, I'm going to do all the things, woo, and it's like, no, you're not. You can only do like one or two. That's all you can do. And it's like, oh. And it sucks, but this is just, again, patience and sacrifice. Like, you just have to be patient enough to work on this process, and you have to be care enough to make a sacrifice. That's all you can do. So my recommendation is that you have some sort of system in place to study every day so you can figure out the inputs that you're missing. You can figure out your blind spots. You can figure out which false beliefs you're still holding on to. And then from there, you can also add a priority system where you just think about your priority every single day. And it's like one of the first things you do. What am I doing today? And my recommendation for this is that you have a document open on your computer automatically whenever you turn your computer on, where I call it the plan. And then you just put down your needle movers, and you might write some things that you copy and paste in there. Like, this is your productivity system. You really don't need any grand productivity system. You don't need a Notion dashboard. You don't need Google LM. You don't need any of these things. You just don't need any of these things. All you need is like a notepad, and you just like write down the things that you might forget, or that you need to copy or paste. And then you just like have the 3 things that you want to do today. And that's the reminder. So it's like you don't get off task, and just grow the skill of getting back on task. Focus is not about staying on one task for a long time. It's about being able to get back on task. And this applies in the short term as well as in the long term. Like, sometimes you stop focusing on something that's important to you for a period of time, and you just completely forget that you were supposed to be doing something that you wanted to do. And then it's like, oh, wait, I remembered. So then all you have to do is just get back on task. Just get back. That's what focus is. You fall off the horse, you get on the horse. What's that? You created a routine and you tried to stick with it and it didn't work and you just fell off. There's nothing stopping you from just trying again. Like, the same exact routine, just try it again. And then, but typically this is because there's something wrong with the routine, and it's not going to fit your ADHD brain. Like, 9 times out of 10, the reason people can't stick with the routine is because it's not ADHD friendly, which ADHD friendly is basically easy. Like, it needs to be accessible. It needs to be something that is easy and fun to use. You just have to be a good designer. Oh no, I have to develop the skill of designing things well? What? Just design it well, okay? Make it easy, make it fun. Like, you don't want to be this person who's like, let me ask you, what is the point of filling your life with a bunch of extreme discipline? Like, what are you hoping to get out of it? all you're going to get is a life that's full of a bunch of extreme discipline. Like, why are you willing to sacrifice your joy and your peace for a bunch of suffering that's going to last for a long time, and then just at the end of it, be suffering? Like, that's so not good. It's not good, okay? So the whole be disciplined, disappear for the next 3 months, like, it's just so bad. It's bad. It's not good. If you sacrifice 3 months of your life only doing things that you hate to do, you're going to just wind up completely burnt out, fizzled out, disgusted, sad. And I know it's tempting because, you know, when you have ADHD, you work in extremes. Like, I'm actually sure that I could go into like super workaholic mode and get like a ton done and just sacrifice literally everything and maintain hyperfocus on a few tasks every single day and get a yield from it. But like, I also know that I would be like so disgusted and disappointed and sad and had to like push through so many things of burnout that it's like, literally, what was the point? Like, all I did was like damage my psychology and like become this like disgusted, like work addicted dummy, you know? So don't do that. Don't become this guy. You want to be this guy. Okay? So make things easy for yourself. And, you know, one thing that's going to help you be really productive in life, try and figure out how to get your inner child to enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Because if you can figure out how to get your inner child on board, that is where all of your creative energy, that is where all of your joy and spontaneity comes from. So if you can just get your inner child onto whatever you're doing, it's going to be way easier to be productive. In fact, you don't even really need motivation because your inner child is basically generating motivation for you. I just told you how everything is about sacrifice, but remember, I also told you that there are things in life that contradict, and they're not actually contradicting. You just need to learn how to use both when you need to use them. And the way you figure out is just by looking at exactly what's in front of you. So if you feel miserable right now and you're not getting any work done, maybe you need to make a bit more sacrifice and you need to be a bit more patient. Now, let's say that you're getting a lot of work done, but you're miserable. Maybe you need to let yourself lounge around a little bit more, make things more interesting and fun for your inner child. Maybe you need to just treat yourself kindly. Maybe you just need to do something nice for yourself, right? Like, you're a human. You are a human. You are this like flawed creature that has no idea what's going on, and you need all the help you can get. And this life's hard, man. Life's hard. So you just have to make up your mind that, you know, life is hard, and I'm going to choose to be kind to myself, and I'm going to choose to love myself even if nobody else will. And I'm going to choose to believe in myself even if nobody else will. And, you know, you might be sort of ostracized from other people because other people don't have that mindset. Other people don't have a mindset of being kind to themselves. Other people are willing to work at a job for the next 40 years to get a paycheck that they're not happy with. And that's their life. They're just like, okay, this is what I'm willing to. And the crazy thing is, like, this is what people are willing to put up with just to not fight resistance. And all resistance is the guy in the mirror. Resistance is the man in the mirror. You just have to wrestle with him for long enough until whatever you need comes to fruition, you know? And there's a time to be aggressive and serious and impatient, and there's a time to just be chill, be laid back, and you're just kind of like working on your thing, you know, and you're enjoying it. My videos keep running really long lately, so I'm going to cut this one here. I could go on and on and on. If you want to hear more of what I have to say, if you want to have some of these things and have somebody help you troubleshoot and figure things out in your life with you, go ahead and ask in the comments for mentorship. It's free, at least the first session. After that, it's $50. And if you just need like some help just getting started and going like right now, I also do body doubling, which is basically there's a psychological effect where if you work with somebody and they're just like in the call working with you, muted, then you're way more likely to get a lot done, especially since we hold each other accountable during the breaks. So every hour of body doubling is $25. And if you go ahead and buy 4 hours, I'll even throw in a free coaching session just for free. Okay. Just let me know in the comments if you guys want any of this. I also teach people how to use Linux, switch over to Linux painlessly. That's $100. But yeah. If you liked this video, if you thought it was helpful, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Do everything that juices up the algorithm so it gets seen by more people. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I've got today. Flowforge out.